Hey, it's Bernadette. It's been a while since I did a live. I think I did one on Friday. And yeah, so I am, hang on a minute, trying to share this into Burning Gold. Say hello when you get here. And we're going to just have a little chat because I haven't been here. I almost didn't come on today. I thought, I should come on. And this is the topic that popped up. Let's see if I can see comments. Hello, Melanie. Hi, Lisa. Hi, Janine. Hi, Wendy. Hi, Lisa Parsons and Lisa Fitzpatrick. How are you guys? It's good to see you. So like I said, I haven't been on for a few days. Yeah, it's been interesting. Milo, no, we're not playing. Today Milo is leaving. But he's, of course, in true style, looking for the dog. Sit. Okay, you just stay right there. No, he wants to be so part of this. Say hello. Hi, Milo. Say hi. Yeah, see the dog? Is that you? Oh my gosh, yeah, cool. Okay, go lay down. You're fine. We'll let him be on it. I love Milo too. I'm going to miss him. He's been here for almost 2 weeks. And yet I get my bed to myself. When I first got my bed, my granddaughter spent the night. And then right after she was here, he came. Literally, they traded places. And then he stayed for the last 2 weeks. So for the first time since I've been in this house, basically, I guess I got one night by myself in my bed, my new bed. And then Milo came. And Milo's not supposed to get on the bed, but I did put a sheet on my comforter knowing that he has this habit of sneaking up in the bed in the middle of the night. And sure enough, every night he starts in his crate. I leave the door open. He sleeps on the floor next to me. But somehow, mysteriously, this dog every morning is curled up at my feet. So I'm not going to miss like having to share my bed with him. I love him, but yeah. But that's not why I came on. I wanted to talk to you guys about the struggle of getting used to ease and flow after you're used to like struggling and working really hard. Hi, Carmen. How many of you guys have experienced that? Like you get so used to things being a force, right? Your mind is used to it. You're in work, in even relationships, sometimes even at home, like with our chores and stuff, just life in general, we get used to this thing of chaos or struggle and managing everything, that when we experience ease and flow and it continues, especially after this last few weeks of crazy energy and it's finally eased up, right? Do you guys feel that? Do you guys feel the energy's eased up? Say yes in the chat if you have. If no, say no. And either way is fine. I know it's still a little tiring, but it's nowhere near the way it was last week. It's getting easier. But I did notice, like I was talking to Spirit about this, and I've had a couple clients call me about different things and surrounding this topic, and it keeps coming up. So I thought I'd talk to you guys about it. Hi, Lisa Campbell. So there is this thing, we get used to struggle, whether it's just the energy's set that way and we are having to push through. Like last week, the energy was so intense that we kept having to push through. Sometimes we get very set like that. A lot of people, and I just did a whole entire month class in Charm Life about this with prosperity. And then I've done different classes about it as well in there, where we talk about our set point, our energetic set point, where a lot of people, whether it's relationships, health, work, money, we have a lower energetic set point than we want or need to have in order to manifest and create something better. When we get into that place of struggle and that becomes the norm, sometimes our set point lowers, right? It just goes lower. And then when it finally, hi Lou, when it finally starts to raise, when it finally starts to lift and things get easier, we're so used to that lower set point that we don't know what to do with ourselves. And so we actually end up working harder, doing more, struggling a little bit more because we're not used to flow. We're not used to peace. I watch it with people in relationships a lot. They're so, they come out of a dysfunctional relationship, they do work on themselves, they heal, and then they start to bring healthier people around. They get into a new relationship that is healthy, that is loving, that is ease, and they think something's wrong because it doesn't include, hi Julie, it doesn't include all of the drama and the chaos in the last several relationships. And it takes time to adjust to that ease, to that flow, to that non-chaotic struggle, right? Sometimes we become so used to struggle that when we're not struggling, we feel like something's wrong. You guys relate? Do you know what I'm talking about? And have you gone through that? Milo, stop. He's trying so hard to keep me petting him. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? Yes or no? And is this making sense for you? I think one of the reasons that Spirit wanted me to talk to you guys is because we do keep evolving. This energy is making us raise our vibration higher and higher. But each step we're taking up has been a little bit of struggle, right? It's been an energetic push, an emotional push. And while once in a while, like we get this flood of positive energy and things just flow, they show up magically, we get excited, then that whole I need to push thing happens again, right? Because the energy then starts to create this weird conflicting struggle. And the energy has been doing this. Like, so if you're on the roller coaster ride, I'm not telling you guys there's anything wrong with you or your life or anything else. You know what I'm talking about? Good. Okay. Because there's nothing wrong with you. The energy is doing this right now, right? And it is taking us out of our comfort zone. Unfortunately, for a lot of people, the comfort zone is dysfunction, right? The comfort zone is struggle. So when we get into that place where it's like we have an aha moment, we go to the next level, things are flowing, they're magical, they're easy, we don't know what to do with ourselves. And then we go looking or we go creating something to struggle with, something to struggle over mentally, emotionally, right? Or physically. Like we do things to create that struggle that we've become accustomed to. Huge, huge problem across the board for so many people. I've gone through it. Sometimes I still do when different things, right? Whenever we talk about addictions, even though addictions are unhealthy, whether that's a food addiction, an alcohol addiction, a work addiction, a workout addiction, an unhealthy relationship addiction, like whatever the case may be. Hi, Dee Dee, welcome. When we become addicted, we don't realize that part of that addiction is that cycle of struggle that we're attached to, that we're accustomed to, that we're comfortable with. And then we fight and struggle against it to get out of it, only to easily fall back into it. And then the struggle's on again. And it may seem like, what the heck, why do I want to struggle? Why do I need to struggle? It is brain programming, and it is an unconscious reaction, and we have to reprogram the brain, and we have to get out of that place where our egos are pulling us into struggle, because that's just where we've hit our set point. And with all these energy waves, with all of this change that's happening on this planet, we are meant to break out of those restrictive paradigms, that restrictive energy. I've caught myself with a couple of things, right? Part of it, like even not coming on live stream the last, I knew I wasn't going to this weekend, and I didn't yesterday because I didn't feel like it. Honestly, like I didn't feel like it, and my dad was off work, and we're still trying to get stuff done, and I had to do Patreon last night, and I was working, and I'm like, I'm not going to struggle. But this conversation too started a couple of days ago. I was talking to a couple clients about that thing that they're in. It's like, I do good, I do really well, things go really well, and then I feel like something's wrong, and then boom, something happens. We create it. Like we truly create it, which also means that you can uncreate it. You can stop creating that drama, that chaos, that struggle. But you have to become aware of it. Like, where are you doing it? Hey, Luanda, how are you, girl? All right. So pay attention. Here's my advice to you right now. Ask yourself and really just watch the patterning. For those of you in Soul Fast, for those of you in Charm Life, like this should not be a hard exercise. Where am I feeling really like unsettled because things are too quiet, because things are too good? I know a lot of people, and you can say yes to this, you don't have to, but they will go and shake things up, and they know that they do it because they're bored. Because they're bored, they look to start emotional drama. How many of you either know someone that does that, or you've caught yourself doing that, right? You either start something up with someone, you go on social media, you look to get a react, you put a bunch of comments in, and what began as a peaceful day ends up being this emotional roller coaster because you needed to go find yourself some emotional drama or trauma. I know a lot of people that do it, and they don't do it consciously, right? Like, this is not a conscious thing. This is unconscious. The ego took over, got on the bus, became the driver, and now here we are. We're going to go make some trouble and shake it up because we're bored. That's what I'm talking about. That energy of just not being comfortable in peace and ease, right? Sometimes you have to just really pay attention to where you're doing that. Like, am I doing that because there's something in me that wants attention and I don't want to pay attention to it? I want to avoid that thing in me, right? Do I go to my addictive place, whether that's food or procrastination or alcohol or whatever distraction, to avoid looking at the things within me that need work, that need healing, that need my attention? Like, hey, Mark, am I doing that, right? Am I keeping myself in a place of having, because people are addicted to busyness too. And I can honestly admit that that's been me off and on for a number of years, right? Although the older I get, the more I just like laying around and doing nothing. I've spent probably, every day for the last 4 days, I have taken no less than an hour and a half nap. Like, I've needed it because I'm going through physical therapy, and every day something else in my body is changing. And then just recovering from this move, and just because I feel like it. Because why not? Like, I work all the time, it seems like, and I've forced myself to just cut off and be okay with just sitting still. And funny enough, the more I am good with ease, rest, the more everything is happening with flow. And I've told the universe, no more. I struggle my butt off last month with my move, and this month with my move. Let's go with peace and ease. That one's so much better. I have so much more fun with that. People do that all the time. I wonder why people do that. They don't even know why, Kim. When it comes to drama llamas, they need to engage chaos. Yeah, well, look, we live in a fairly dysfunctional society, right? Where there's family dysfunction and government dysfunction and dysfunction at all levels in our society and our school system, the way people interact. The more individuals are dysfunctional and fractured up emotionally and intellectually, and they're in a state of disassociation. I mean, we have like a whole entire sect of population that is in this place of cognitive dissonance, where we're not even going to go there. That's a whole other conversation I'm not even going to start today. Nonetheless, people do it unconsciously because their egos are driving the bus, and it is a way to avoid. It's a way to avoid what you really need to heal, and it's a way to avoid facing those fears. It's a way to avoid growth, right? It's the ego's way of staying in control. Truly, bottom line, that's the ego's way of staying in control. Keep you in a state of chaos. Don't let you get comfortable in that place of peace. But anytime we grow, anytime we expand, it does take a moment to get used to that new energetic vibration. It's no different than, you know how much we all like, well, I like it. I don't know if you guys do, but getting in a hot jacuzzi, get an easier way in, because at first it's so hot and you're like, man, that kind of stings. But once your body acclimates to the temperature, then you can put your whole body in and just let go and go with it. And it feels so good, right? But at first, it's stingy. It's like, oh my God, that's so hot. And you got to give it a minute. Our lives are the same way. We all want peace and ease and flow and prosperity. But when we're not used to it, when we're used to struggle, right, and chaos and drama and over-serving and over-giving and overthinking, it takes a minute to get used to that place of, oh, it's peaceful. This is flow, right? Emotionally, we have to acclimate. Mentally, we have to acclimate. And if you keep wanting to go there because that's really where you want to live your life and have your relationships, it's going to take repetitive practice. It's going to take jumping on top of your ego and saying, we're not going to the drama. I'm not going to get involved in that conversation over there. I'm not going to go and do this thing over here. We're not going to go where we know, there's going to be massive drama. Not going to do it, no matter how sparkly, right? Going to stay here in this peaceful place and get used to ease and comfort. So while we've just come through this major transformational energy, and it's still happening and it's ongoing, we're going to continue to have this for the next 6 months till we hit January 2020. Who knows after that? Right now, that's the big event that we're all kind of focused on to see what changes can occur. While we're getting there, while we're ramping up to that, get used to peace and ease. Get used to things magically lining up for you. And if you constantly are waiting for that other shoe to drop, stop paying attention to that. Stop creating that and create something better. Learn, grown accustomed to putting myself last because my family responsibilities seem more of a priority. Juliet, I totally get that because I'm a single mom, and I have been, for the most part, a single mom for the last 25 years, 26 years. I've done, 27 years. How old's my daughter? Is going to be 28. Okay, so the number just keeps going up. I just don't even want to acknowledge how old I'm getting. Anyways, I get it, right? Kids always come first. The household comes first. The bills come first. Everything. And then, because I have my own business, and it's helping people business, clients always come first. I'll sleep later. I'll take care of myself later. I get it. But, it doesn't have to be that way. Like, we can put ourselves first, and we have to. I mean, I can't say this enough times and teach you guys this. There's no mistake when they tell you on the airline, on the airplane, if in a case of emergency, put your oxygen mask on yourself first before you try and help other passengers, including your own children and the elderly, because you cannot help somebody else, save somebody else, if you can't first get your oxygen in. So, it's great. You want to grab the oxygen mask and give it to your kids next to you. Make sure that they can breathe. What good is it if they lose their mother? Take care of yourselves, right? Get used to that. And I'm not kidding when I tell you, get used to ease and flow, and ease and flow becomes the norm, so that then the reaction is different. Your set point becomes very different, right? No longer am I used to struggle, chaos, manage it, all of it, right? Got to have some dysfunction going so I feel like I'm in control. No longer are you there comfortable. You're comfortable in peace and ease. And anytime there's chaos, you disengage. Right now, for a lot of you, and I get it, because it took me years to get the whole thing. Hey, Angel. I get how hard of that adjustment it is as you grow and as you change. But once you get it, man, that is the preference, right? Peace and ease. Put myself first. Rest when I need to. Stop pushing. Don't need to push, right? Don't need to chase. What I desire, what I want, what I'm creating is actually already making its way to me. So I'm going to sit back. I'm going to cruise, and I'm going to let it come to me, and I'm not going to worry about the rest of it, right? I'm going to hand it over to the universe, put it in my God box. For those of you in Charm Life, I'm going to put it over in my God box and wait till it comes to me and follow the crumbs, follow the breadcrumbs. Where is it leading me? And one step after another, you know you're always being led to that path of peace and ease, because that is what you continually choose. But you got to quiet the voice of the ego. You've got to stop giving the ego, that little bratty inner critic, bully, wanting to take control of the bus that is your life, permission to drag you into struggle and chaos and less than what you deserve, period. And it's repeated action. Yeah. So we have to take care of us first. I learned this the hard way. We won't be around if we don't. Absolutely. Well, thanks for stopping by, Juliet. So I hope that message makes sense for some of you, and helps you remember, like, I know July has been a month to grow on, and we all have grown. It was so very uncomfortable, right? Begone Satan. Exactly. So Bernie's in Charm Life. Bernie's my cousin, for those of you who don't know, but she's been in Charm Life and working with me for a number of years. That's how we met. One of the things I teach in Charm Life, if you replace, and I learned this like from Kabbalah years and years ago, if you read the Bible and you replace in the Bible everywhere it says Satan with the word ego, suddenly the Bible makes like a ton more sense, right? That we're not battling just this invisible evil creature. We're battling ourselves. We're battling our egos. That's the link to everything that is not in alignment with what we want. Like, seriously, if you guys can do that, it makes a ton more sense. Jesus was out in the desert 40 days and 40 nights. He wasn't struggling with some horned creature. He was struggling with his ego, who's like, hey, follow me. You can have it all, right? Just be greedy. Just be an asshole. Don't care about everyone else. Yeah, you got healing gifts. You don't have to help anybody else. You can have the entire world. Is that not what we battle with every single day? Do I do the right thing, or do I just go for me? Numero uno, right? Seriously. Hey, Andrea. That's what we battle. Do we continually give over our minds, our lives, and what we say we want to that place of just for self and not in service? Or do we do the right thing, love ourselves and love others? I mean, yeah, Kim. So go take and read your ancient text now. Anywhere it says struggling with evil, replace it with the word ego and watch what happens. Like, it will light your studies up in such a way that you understand that battle of light and dark, it's within you. Like, get it right here. Everything else becomes super easy. And I want it to be easy for you guys. I want you guys to get into that place where, you can choose in any moment. I don't have to have this struggle, and I know it. And you can see in every moment the struggles that you are having, that you're like choosing it. You're the one choosing it, and you can unchoose it. You can choose something different. Like I did this weekend, and pretty much every day, no joke, like an hour and a half. I was taking power naps for the longest time. You guys know this. Like, I get up super early. Most of the time I'm up before 5, and I don't go to bed until 10, 11, sometimes 12 o'clock at night. So I'm limited sleep. But lately I'm like, you know what? Forget the 20-minute power naps. I'm going to go for it and let my body do what it needs to do. And I'll tell you what, way easier. And things just boom, 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 line up, and they happen. It's been great. Definite difference in self-care and selfishness. Yes, absolutely. There is. Think about self-care. Think about your self vibration, your set point as well. At least I know for you, you've been struggling. And those of you who have any kind of inflammatory thing going on in your body, whether it's chronic fatigue, fibromyalgia, you've got an ongoing chronic health issue, you more than anyone else need to remember to take care of you, right? And you cannot judge yourself based on what healthy people are doing. And I see people do this all the time. My daughter does it, right? She's got chronic fatigue. She got fibromyalgia and all of these things. And in her mind, she's constantly comparing herself to the way other people are doing it. And when she does that, she puts herself into struggle, because she's like, well, you know, Susie over there can get going. And she looks at me and she's like, you constantly are working and helping, and I can't do it. And then she judges herself based on what I do versus what she is capable of doing in her body. You can't do that. That's creating struggle. Like, be okay. Your body says you need to rest, rest. Your body says, hey, let's get up and do something. Get up and do something. But don't base it on other people, because then you're literally putting now your mind and emotions into a place of struggle when your body's already struggling. Don't do that either, right? Take care of you. Heed the messages within your body. Go into meditation. Ask, how can I make this better? How can I find a place of flow? How can it get better? And then wait for the answers and follow the breadcrumbs. That's how that goes. And then it's all flow. No stress. So I love you guys. I don't want to be on here any longer than I need to be. This one went kind of longer than I expected it to. I say that every single time. That damn Mercury and Sag. Yeah. So those of you on Patreon, I will see you tomorrow, and we will do our weekly report. We are heading towards the end of the month, and we have a new moon on the 31st, which is next Wednesday. So a week from tomorrow, we have a new moon. And then we've wrapped up the eclipse cycle. Thank God. And the energy then shifts and changes a little bit more. And we're entering into that Leo season, right? We're in the Leo season, which it's all about the self. And we're going to talk about that in the upcoming live streams. So hang in there, you guys, but think about this. And like I said, ask yourself, am I doing this because it is part of ease and flow? Or am I doing this because I'm used to struggle and chaos? And if it is the struggle and chaos, unplug from that. Shift gears. Change what you're doing. Get back to ease and flow. Okay? I'll see you guys next time. Have a good one.